I'm Sharon, and
Yes.
I'm here with my beloved colleague, Alex, to share with you about an upcoming event that we're having next week.
Yes. And I can't really see my face, which is quite fun. I'm looking at your lovely face instead. I trust that I am here under the writing. So, yes, we are here today. I attempted to go live a few minutes ago, and we are having a little bit of technical fun today here over on the West Coast. But we're excited to share about this thing. I was mentioning a little bit a few minutes ago that it's taking those moments where everything falls apart, and you can use that to sort of either just stay down and not pursue your dreams, or you can learn from that time and rise back up. And so that's really the lessons that we both learned when we got to that lower place are what we want to share with people. Hello from North Germany. Yay. Exciting.
Beautiful. And hi,
Yeah.
Stacy
Hi,
Robin.
Stacy. Stacy's here too. Okay. So yeah, what do you want to say, Sharon?
Well, I feel really blessed that I've gotten to know Alex over the past few months. We met each other in a women's networking circle, and right away we both had this incredible connection and could feel one that we both work with the same beautiful population of women around creativity and inspiring, deep fulfillment and inner reflection and exploration and moving through old trauma and wounds and limiting beliefs. And then as we came together, we got to learn even more deeply that we came from different sides of the same path of discovering our wholeness in a really profound way through our own creative collapse. And as a writer and published author, and Alex as a singer and songwriter, we, had similar experiences of really putting something out into the world that meant so much to us, that we had poured our heart and soul in, that we had dreamed into being, and there it was. And then, the things that happened didn't meet up with what we had hoped was going to be the final result. And so we've learned a lot, and in coming together, we're really walking a full spectrum. I had always been quite a people pleaser, really interested in trying my best to support and hold space for everyone. And Alex was coming from an angle of like really devoted to bringing her actualization of her dreams into being. And what we discovered is we ended up with the same result.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And so that's why we also thought it would be a good idea to join forces, because we did come in from different sides of the spectrum on this. And, obviously there's a whole bunch of shades of gray, and women and men come in from all different sides of these things. But whether you're coming in from a side where you were really on your own journey and just solely focused, or whether you're a more people pleasing side, we both know what that journey is. And so we can share together the lessons that we learned. And ultimately, like we said, a lot of the lessons that we learned were the same. And the tools that we learned were also paralleled each other, but were different in interesting enough ways that we thought, why don't we come together to teach this and see if we can help other people, sort of move through this moment, because it can really just stop you in your path, or you can decide to rise back up, like I said. And so we have this workshop, which is on April 11th at 11:30 to 1 Pacific time. And so that's next week. And we have an Eventbrite, which is in my link in bio, I believe is in Sharon's
It's
link in
in
bio.
mine as well.
I
Yes.
don't know that, I don't think I can actually link to it here, unfortunately. But if you are interested in coming to this type of an event, it's going to be really, really open and transformative, but also just like a warm, safe space for people to share where they are. And like I said, we'll be sharing some music. We'll also be sharing some of Sharon's wonderful writing. And so that'll be part of the experience too. And we will welcome you to share whatever you feel comfortable with. That's part of your journey, or where you're getting stopped up on this, so that we can hopefully help you through that.
Beautiful. And together, Alex and I, as we've joined forces, we have over 50 years of combined experience in the, creative expression field and holistic healing arts. And so we are here to really hold a dynamic space and have a conversation that not a lot of people are talking about, that place of um, creative collapse and rebirth, and really allowing that vulnerability of being honest and sincere of how you wanted things to go a certain way, they didn't, and then what you do with it, is pretty profound. And both Alex and I shared similar journeys also with, physical symptoms and health crises as a result. And so coming from an angle where it's about your creative expression, it's about your health and vitality, it's about your relationships, it's about your career and professional vision, all of that coming together as we hold space for women to really transform their own downward spirals into a revolution of increased vitality and rediscovering deeper meaning in what your dream holds for you.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them into the chat or comments. And yeah, we're really excited. If this sounds also like somebody that you know that this might be useful for, maybe you could direct them our direction. Wonderful content. Thank you. Both of you that are here are so supportive, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, and this is for all different types of, we're aiming at women, but it also could be from like a personal development standpoint or a professional development standpoint. And it could be that you're incorporated, it could be that you have your own business, it could be that you're just at a place where you're looking to get back into something that you stepped away from for whatever reason. And so those are all places where would be a good workshop to come to. And like I said, it's an hour and a half, April 11th. And yeah, and we will have other opportunities to like deepen what we're going to go through there coming up after that.
Beautiful. Yeah, and the angle I just want to speak to that we've been having many conversations about as we prepare for this is the dismantling of shame. So many women, when they walk away from a dream that's collapsed, carry this internalized shame that depletes your energy, causes you to perceive differently of yourself, thinks that you're not designed to be doing what you really want to be doing in the world. And all of that is false. All of that is not real and not true. And so when women come together in a really supportive, empowering group, all that gets to be stripped away so that you can see it's because we're part of a really broken system that doesn't honor creativity or the beautiful, raw innocence, as well as the power of a woman's true creative expression. And so by leaning into each other as fellow allies and professional creatives, we can really help raise each other's and our own vibration to continue to forge our way on this path, which does take a lot of commitment, chutzpah, and wild devotion,
Yeah.
and the ability to keep thinking outside the box and keep leaning into each other to keep going forward and celebrating.
Yes. I always love to hear Sharon talk. She's articulately explains everything so well. So sometimes I like to just be quiet and listen to her. But yes, all of what she just said is true. I don't know. I know sometimes on lives it takes a little while for people to come in. So I appreciate everyone who is here right now. And I know that everyone here so far is very creative and had your own journey with coming up and down in what you've been doing. And so I don't know. It's a so hard in the moment where it all collapses, but you can rise back up. I really like the idea of a phoenix, and so I think that we all have that within us. And sometimes it's useful to have somebody there to help guide you out and to give you some accountability and also some different tools that you can use, because it is a journey. It doesn't happen right away, and so that's why it's useful to have other people around, particularly people who have gone through something similar to what you're going through. So, and that is the case for both Sharon and I here. And we both are really, really passionate about helping other people with this.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just glancing at a lovely comment here about the dark inner spiral and how it can be very challenging to get out of that, and making music for this person, really transformed and brought forward the light of life again. And I
Isn't that
love that. Thank you so much
beautiful?
for sharing that.
He's so great
Yes.
at what he does.
Oh.
And yeah, you should go check out his work and his songs. And he plays guitar and he sings, and he's wonderful, and he's
Mm,
very supportive. And we've both been sort of supporting each other across. He's over in Germany, and over here in the States, and just sort of supporting each other. And I'm really appreciate that he's come into my world, and that's a beautiful thing that you just wrote there. That's exactly what we're talking about.
exactly. It's
Yeah,
exactly what we're talking about. And I think another reason for us to come together is to also share so that people can hear and see, yeah, everyone has gone through these dark inner spirals, and we don't have to do it alone, and they don't have to be so dark, and there's power in the darkness. It's such a cool thing when you have finally gone to the darkness and realized, oh, this is not what I was told it was. It's actually an incubation container for some of your most potent work ever. And often without going there, then your creative work doesn't have the depth, the sustainability, or the practicality required to keep going. So I really love that you shared that. And that's also why we want to share our stories, so that it can inspire others to know that they don't need to hide that part away, but to actually really be proud of it. And it's a great fulfillment to know you've made it through. It's a really natural part of life to go into the spiral of the darkness and then to come back out. It's like a labyrinth. And in many cultures and traditions, like ceremoniously, they actually do honor the labyrinth. They honor going into the dark and coming out. And in our more westernized, culture, we don't. We're so focused on the light that we forget that the part of the creative process that can really bolster, into a much deeper place for your own sense of connection with your inherent gifts and genius and dreams comes from being comfortable in the darkness and being willing to go to that when you're called.
yeah. And then there are just certain tools and techniques, even little mindset shifts, or even certain words that you can start to use to change where you are. And those little shifts over time add up. And I sort of felt like when I was in that moment, like it was a rewiring of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out on the other side, I'm just so much happier and more joyful and more flexible. And also just more outward. I was very focused on just where I wanted to go. And now I'm just able to like reach out and help other people. And I feel like it's a better place to be coming from. But it's these shifts that if you don't hear them, sometimes you may not discover them. So if you come, we're going to be sharing some of those. We're also going to be giving away an awesome like worksheet with some of these things that we've learned. So those are going to be whether we ever see you again or not. Hopefully we do, but even in that hour and a half, we'll have some. Let's see. To be creatively singing,
Yes.
drawing, making music, building wood figures. Okay, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
cool one.
doing things with your hands, so good.
Yeah,
Totally. That's a direct rewiring of the brain as well when we're using our
absolutely.
hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, thank you for being here with us today. And I'm glad Alex and I were able to find our way through some little snafus of the online world and social media. And it's been a pleasure to share a little tidbit of what we'll be doing next week. We can't wait to share in space and magical creation with you. And we hope you will come and join us. We both have the link to this event, which is next Thursday, the 11th, in our bios. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
yeah. But feel free to DM either one of us or both of us, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for being here and for sharing in the chat today. So happy to see you, and yeah, have a great rest of your afternoon.
Bye. Blessings.